Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today is going to be a real interesting project for all of you out there who want to make yourself one of these items. And to me, it's very inexpensive because over the long term, it's something that you could make customized to yourself. This watering wand is, I would say, quite unique. You're not going to be able to go to the store and buy one of these, but you can custom make it to yourself. The whole reason behind this is, well, I'm going to show you actually watering some flowers and the difference between watering flowers correctly or watering your vegetables correctly and not. Because most people, you know what they do? They put a sprinkler out, they water their whole whatever size garden they have or flower bed or whatever, and guess what you got? A whole flower bed full of weeds in a matter of minutes, right? Well, not quite minutes, but real close to it. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these watering wands. Very easy. You need some kind of, well, plumbing tools. But, you know, you can more likely borrow plumbing tools from your friends. Everybody, you know, has a little bit of ingenuity to be able to make something. And I think everybody could make one of these themselves. I make them and I just give them away to my friends and, you know. Now, just imagine the average person standing there with a garden hose like this, and they're just spraying everything, right? And then you can buy these wands, but they all come in like this length. A custom length is not something you can buy. They're either like 36, 24, 28. I like to make for the person. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you all the materials here and how easy it is to do yourself.
Well, first of all, you have to get a roll of this PEX plumbing. Now this pipe is 1/2 inch and I get it for under $30 for a 100-foot roll. So you can imagine how many of these you could make. So if you know somebody that's handy at all and does a little bit of plumbing, well, guess what? They got lots of just sitting around. So you have to have some PEX plumbing fittings. And I was always going to use brass in the past, but now I've had quite good success with the using the plastic. It's much cheaper. And I've got a project coming up where I'm going to show you all this, and you know, quite a unique project I got going on up in my camp. So I like to use these quick connectors. Now a lot of people, you don't need to use a quick connector, and this is just one of these PEX, and it's all 1/2 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch, and this is just an old shower head that I've taken off. And of course we replace our shower heads every once in a while, right? And of course it's got a swivel on the end here, so you can swivel it. And you loosen this collar off and you can tighten it down to wherever position you want. So this is, you know, this is very cheap. You can buy these online for like under 10 bucks anywhere. And when I insert this into here, I like to use the paste, not the Teflon tape. I like to use the paste better. And here is your crimper. I'm going to show you how this all works. And all you have to do is buy one of these. Like I went to my Home Depot and this was $5.50. You know, and it's got the PEX fitting at one end and your garden hose fitting at the other end. So if you don't use these quick connectors, yeah, you can just screw on your garden hose, no problem. I'll show you how that works. And these are the tools you need. And this is the PEX crimper that I like, and just the PEX pipe cutter. So how do you know how long of a wand you actually need? Well, I'm going to show you how I measure every person that I give one of these to, and let's see how I do it.
So the best way to do this, I found, just getting a measuring tape, one that you can extend that doesn't, you know, like limp over or anything. So what I do is I've made like a lot of these. So I mean, I have a good idea how tall somebody is, but you can just imagine the taller you are, the longer the wand has to be, right? Because you're holding your arm out and you're watering. So I mean, the whole idea behind this is ergonomics. The last thing you want to do is be all bent over. And a lot of people don't like being bent over when they're watering. So what do? They get the garden hose out and they spray everything, right? Like I said, all you do is you're spraying the earth. You're not spraying, you know, your particular vegetables or your, you know, your plants or your flowers. You're spraying the top surface of your soil, and all you're doing is encouraging weeds and weeds and weeds. So you just take your measuring tape and you just put it out, and you just hold it like where you would normally hold it. Like for me, I find 48 inches is fine for me, but I know the person I'm giving this to, well, 36 is ideal for them because they're a lot shorter. So the person is about 5'4", so you know 36 is just perfect for them. So I've already measured them and they find 36 is fine. So we're going to make this one 36. Now this is going to go together real fast. I'll show you how easy this is. And these will last you, well, you can't buy anything that even resembles this. So these will last you a long, long, long time compared to just trying to buy one that is close to the, you know, the size that you actually need. Because measuring it is 10 times better than just getting something that just doesn't fit, right? So let's get to it and I'll show you how easy it is to put together. So here's the PEX pipe cutter, and you know, this comes in a kit. I bought it in a kit a long time ago. You just place it over top and cut it off. And that's as easy as that. Okay, so here we are now. I got you all zoomed in. And here's one of them PEX rings. Now these are copper. And you just slide it over top like this. Now you can fit your hose fitting in there. And I mean, that's pretty easy, right? And one thing I like about PEX is even after it's tightened up, you can move this. So I mean, it's not like you have to actually orient it in the right position or anything. So I got that on there. Now all you want to do is bring it back from about 1/8 of an inch from the end. And then we just take our crimper. You slide the crimper over top like this. Crimp it down. Now you can't see me, but the top here, I'll show you here. When I'm crimping it, yeah, you can see here, I'm just crimping it like this. So I mean, and it's foolproof. So I mean, this is the die here at the end for the 1/2 inch, and the next one down is for 3/4. So we got that one on. Now I'll show you what it looks like before we go any further. Well, this is what we've got so far, and you can see it's got a bend to it, and here's the end that I just finished putting on. And the great thing about this PEX is, yeah, it comes in a roll and it's gonna be in this shape, but you know what, it doesn't take much just to kind of bend it back a bit. It doesn't take long, not much of an effort, and you know, you can just, how long did that take, right? And there it is right there. So you can imagine. So now I have actually cut this a longer than 36. So now I can straighten it out, measure it to 36, cut off the end, and that's what I'll do. Then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how to put the opposite end on. Well, we've got it all cut to length, and all we have to do now, slip on another ring like this. You slip the ring on to about 1/8 before you get to the end of your hose. And this here, you'll get a better idea of how this crimps on. You just put this on here. And that's it. Now, is that easy or what? So what I'm going to do now is, you take your shower head, and the shower head screws on, right? But like I said, I like to use this first, so I don't have to show that, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this on, and like I say, the shower head itself, the end, if you adjust this collar, you can move this to any direction you want, and then tighten up the collar, and it will stay like that. Now, of course, most people, they're going to want it facing down towards the ground, right? Just like that. So, I mean, that wasn't hard at all. So, at the other end, what I'm going to do is, this is so easy. I mean, you just put one of these on, and I've got one of these already on the end of my hose. And of course, you've all seen these quick connectors. And that is pretty much it. And I mean, I think it's, you know, terrific just like that. So I'll take you out and I'll show you how I actually water my flowers. So here's the front of my house here. And you can see how I planted them flowers. Now, a lot of people, what they seem to do is they just have it like flat across. What I find is if you make a ditch all the way around, so when you're only watering in there, what happens is it forces the roots to go deeper for water over time.
rather than just on the surface. So when you get a dry spell, well, they all just don't dry up and die on you, right? So that's what it looks like there in the front. And you can see over here what I've done as well between me and my neighbor. The exact same thing, right? So I mean, I think that's the most efficient way. And of course, in between each one of them flowers, guess what? You're not watering all the dirt and just having a big giant weed bed. So I think that's the best way to go right there. So let's show this in action, and I'll show you how easy it is so you can stand up straight and do your watering. So here we are here. Just turn the valve on. And that's it. Just fill it up. I mean, that's a lot better than being bent over. Now for myself, I'd have one a little bit longer, so I'm standing in this position and the watering head would be down here. I mean, for me this is a no-brainer. I'd rather do this all day long than be all bent over watering your flowers. Well, what do you think? I mean, it's as easy as that, and it's nice to have a shut-off valve at the end here, and all you have to do is just match it up to the end. They sell lots of these conversions, you know, where you can go from, depending on the end of your hose, what you have. My hose is different than others. I've got the Quick Connects on, so I use the Quick Connects. But on a regular hose, yeah, you'd have to get the connector that just goes from this fitting to the male fitting on the end of a regular garden hose. It's just an investment of like, well, maybe $3-4 just for the one little fitting at the end here, so it'll fit on everybody's garden hose. But I like using the Quick Connectors. And you can see at the end here how easy it is just to stand up, you know, and water. And of course, you can shut it off very easily. I just use my thumb, off, on, you know, very easy. And it's easy on the back. I mean, when you get to my age, like I'm like 106 now, so I mean, you know, you don't want to be bending over all day long. It's too hard on the back. And maybe if you're not 106, maybe you could, you know, have your back last longer by not bending over and crouching. And, you know, like, I mean, if you're 6'6", you got to go with a 5-foot wand, right? And you can just stand here nice and straight and water all day long. So I hope you enjoyed this. Come back again next time for some more ingenious things like I kind of think up on my own, and I like to share them with you. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again and have some more fun. Cheers.